Hello, everyone. Heidi Dean here, social media expert for actors. And today we're talking about one of my favorite things, Instagram. And yes, the Insta hair from Instagram is back. So today I'm going to answer any technical questions you have about Instagram, any questions about how to use it for your career, any questions about Reels, or any questions you have about the free Instagram masterclass for actors that I hosted last week. The replay is out if you missed that, and it's in the description below. Okay, let's see who's here, and then we're going to just get started. I'm going to fix my camera 1 second. Let's see. Hi, Rachel. Rachel Brooks is here. Hello, just watched your video with Wendy and snatched the free ebook. Awesome. Awesome. So you just found this live chat. You're joining from Mexico, but you're from Thousand Oaks, California. Awesome. I'm originally from California as well. Hey, Chad Maurice. Good to see you. So I am just going to dive right in. Let me know your Instagram questions. I'm going to dive in with one question that I actually saw a few times in the chat from the masterclass last week. And ironically, I didn't see it in the chat until after the class when I looked at it. And it really was all about the Fab Four. Now, if you watch the masterclass, let me get actually my board here for you guys so you can see it. If you watch the masterclass, then you know we talked about how to tell your unique story on Instagram. Okay. And part of that was figuring out what I call your Fab Four. Right? The four things that make you absolutely fabulous that we're going to come to know, like, and trust about you on Instagram, right? And we talked about how these break down. Now, I don't want to talk about it too much because just go watch the live masterclass from last week if you didn't. I break it down for you step by step by step. And actually, I'm going to see if I can get that link for you so you guys can see it. I don't know if you can access that now, but it's totally free. You can watch it till Saturday. And then you guys can figure out how to tell your story. There you go. So in that free class, we talked about this idea of the Fab Four, how to tell your unique story. And I'm seeing that my camera is reversed, but just so you know how it breaks down, it's what you do. And then two of the boxes are what you love or what you stand for, and then your vibe. Okay. So what you do for most of you, that is you're an actor, you're a performer, right? It might be that you're a performer slash producer, performer slash writer, performer slash singer, right? You might be a multi-hyphenate. That's what you do. The other two things, two parts of your Fab Four, which are going to be things that you post about on your Instagram account, are what you love slash what you stand for, right? Yes, my hair is Instagram colored just for today, not permanently. So the other two parts of your Fab Four, what you love, what you stand for, okay? These can be hobbies, interests, values, things that we can tap into outside of acting, okay? And then the last part of that Fab Four is your vibe, right? Your vibe is really going to attract your audience, guys. So this is really important. And I'm mentioning this because this is the question I saw in the chat. Was how do I find my vibe, Heidi? How do I figure that out? Okay, and let me give you a couple questions to think about. And these are questions that that we actually dive into in my Insta Actor class that is open for registration till Saturday. We talk about it in the very beginning, really how to figure out this Fab Four. We go through this series of 10 questions that really uncover all the things that make you you. And a couple of those questions help you with your vibe. So let me give you those two questions. First, I want you to think about how do you make people feel? How do you make people feel? Not just online, but in real life, right? Do you make them feel playful, excited, empowered, energized, maybe relaxed, right? Confident? There are so many possibilities, and trust your instincts with this. You can even ask people, how do I make you feel? Okay. This is your energy, your vibe. Another question you can ask yourself to really figure out your vibe is, how would someone describe you? Would they describe you as positive, funny, sarcastic? Are you the glass half empty? Are you the glass half full? Right? The answer is going to affect the tone of your Instagram. Okay, so there were a couple people that wanted to know, how do I find my vibe for my Fab Four for online, ask yourself those two questions. How do you make people feel? And then how would someone describe you? They're kind of similar answers, but sometimes they help us get to that answer and your vibe a different way. Let me know if that makes sense. And let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm assuming you can because I don't see that you can't. And Chad, yes, it is Instagram colored. I don't know how I feel about the spray. It's temporary. But maybe I'll have to do it for real. I'm going Twitter blue, I think, actually, for real. Hi, Claudia. Voices your way. Awesome. Okay. Danny, I just saw your message on Instagram. You're in my other inbox. You've updated your iPhone, updated the Insta app, deleted and re-downloaded it, and tried messaging Instagram several times, and you still don't have Reels. Help. I asked you before in the masterclass, and I don't know if I saw your answer. Are you from your account? It looked like you're located in LA. There's really no other reason you wouldn't have them. Perhaps if you had an older phone, if you still have the iPhone 5 or 6, or sometimes you can't use the newer features. Okay. But it doesn't sound like that's the problem. You have to know they're rolling out features all the time. And sometimes we get them at different times. I've been told everyone in the US has Reels, but obviously not the case. Today, the other day they announced that they're merging IGTV and feed videos together. So IGTV will now be called Instagram Video. They announced everyone got it today. I don't have it on my account. My husband doesn't have an account, and the other account of a client I can access doesn't have it. So things roll out slow sometimes. So just know that, okay? I have some weird bright light on my face from the very sunny day we're having outside. I'm going to try to fix it. There you go. Awesome. Okay. So Danny, you should get it soon. They're pushing Reels out like crazy. So you should, okay? Let me know, guys, if you guys have Instagram questions, whether it is about Instagram in general, Instagram for actors, the free masterclass, let me know. And had I known my shirt would be backwards, I wouldn't have worn it. YouTube live is different than everything else. Okay. Hi from Briarwood, New York. Hello. Okay, well, let me know your questions, guys. I'm going to update my chat because maybe I'm just not seeing them, which happens. Chad says, when Instagram crashed last week, I lost Reels, but then it came back a day later. Yes, and that's happened too. I know a lot of people who have just woken up and their Reels, like, they couldn't create Reels anymore. Danny, have you tried everywhere? Like, did you go to every posting button? Did you go to the universal posting button to see if it said Reels? Did you go into the post button that's on your profile and see if Reels is a choice at the bottom? Did you go into the stories camera to see if it's a choice? So check all of those. And just anyone watching, you do not have a Reels tab until you actually create a Reel. Okay. All right. Oh, it's not reversed for you guys. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Then, and this is not reversed. And this is not reversed. Even better. Perfect. It's just the camera they're showing me, I guess. Okay, cool. Oh, you're in the UK, Danny. Well, that might be why. Yeah. It's been rolled out everywhere in the US. Australia got it first. They've been getting a lot of the Reels updates first. So it could be that not everyone in the UK hasn't yet. Okay. So just hold tight. All right. Awesome. Okay, guys. So we started with the idea of the Fab Four, which I'm going to use this then. I thought it was backwards, so I put it away. We started with the idea of the Fab Four and talked about how to find your vibe. Sorry, you guys might get dizzy for a second. Let me get my board over here. And talked a little bit about how do you find that vibe? Okay, so if you came late, how do you make people feel? How would somebody describe you? 2 questions you can ask yourself to really tap into this. You got to know the more you can actually tap into your vibe, tap into your energy on Instagram, on social media, the easier it is to grow an audience. And literally your energy is going to be just popping right off that page. Okay. And Chad says, love the shirt. I'm definitely an overthinker. And anyone that watched the free masterclass knows this was part of the masterclass. And really this, hold on, let me overthink this, right? If you guys can see the whole thing. It's something I see a lot of people dealing with when it comes to reels, when it comes to this vertical video content, you do a lot of overthinking, a lot of doubting yourself, a lot of spending hours on something and not posting it in the first place. So that's why I wanted to wear this today, just so you guys can really drill it in your head that stop overthinking, learn the Reels 101, learn the basics, and just post it. You're only going to get better with your posting if you keep on doing it. Okay. I'm a Chad. I'm definitely an overthinker. I'm a recovering overthinker. I'm a recovering procrastinator. I work on them every single day. Okay. So, I got a question here. Awesome. Rachel Brooks and anyone showing up, let me know your Instagram questions. Okay. Rachel asked, I'm brand new to social media for acting. I haven't even created my page yet. What's the first thing I should post about my vibe? Awesome, Rachel. I'm assuming you're talking about Instagram. There's so many things you can post, but the first thing you need to do, and Rachel, let me know if you watched the free masterclass, okay? Just so I know we're on the same page. The first thing you need to do is you have to figure out how you're going to tell your story before you even put one post out there, right? We don't want a spaghetti post. Remember, if you watch that class, there's two types of actors out there when it comes to posting. You have the all actors life all the time actor. They post about only acting, only acting, only acting, and it gets really old. And really, you're only really connecting with other actors, other actors, other actors. Then we have the spaghetti account. And that's the polar opposite, right? That's someone who is just posting about all different stories all the time. There's no through line. If I just look at your Instagram, I really don't know what you post about. I don't know who you are. And it's really, really hard to grow a following that way unless you're already well known or a celebrity. Okay. And even if you're well known or celebrity, posting within some boundaries like the Fab Four is going to help you grow bigger. It's going to help you have a deeper connection to your followers. Okay, so that's what we talked about is that you have the all actors life or you got spaghetti posts. So we need to find the marriage of the two, the love child of those two things. And once we do, we can start figuring out those four things that make you you, what you do, what you love / stand for, and then your vibe. Okay, so Rachel, that is the first thing I would figure out before you post. Then what you're going to do is you are going to post about these things, right? Acting obviously is probably one of them, unless you're some other kind of multi-hyphenate here. What else do you do in your spare time? And then yes, your vibe. I actually suggested on the masterclass to somebody, and when I worked with a client last week, if it's your first post, why not introduce yourself? Even if there's not that many people there yet, make it your introduction to the world, to us, to Instagram, right? And why not let us know what you're going to post about? Hi, I'm Heidi, and I'm an actor. I love this and this when I'm not acting, and I love to make you smile. Do an introduction post. Let us know who you are. And yeah, if you can capture that vibe in a photo, a video, even better. And there's so many ways you could do a type of post like that. It could be a static photo. It could be you talking to video. It could be a reel with you pointing at things with a trend. And you can really get those views. There's so many ways, but I say, Rachel, introduce yourself to us. Okay. Let us know what you're going to post about and why I should care, why I should follow you. Okay. And good luck. Awesome. Danny, how often do you suggest posting? Is it better to post once every day or 2 or 3 times in a day? I've seen people doing both. There's no set recommendation for everyone. And if you hear somebody giving a set recommendation, don't listen to them because how often you post depends on a gazillion factors. How many followers you have, where you're located, how often you're used to posting, how much do you know about Instagram? Should you be posting 2 to 3 times a day? If you're Rachel right now and brand new, no, nope. She could probably post a couple times a week and really focus on posting quality posts that tell her story and get her footing so she knows how to do them correctly than posting 2 to 3 times a day. Okay. And for most actors, I never suggest 2 to 3 times a day unless you have someone running your social media. If you have time to post 2 to 3 times a day, what else are you doing for your acting career? Right? So unless you have someone to help you. Okay. But Danny, I'd have to look at your account to see, what you're doing now. I say couple times a week, 2 to 3 times a week is a good sweet spot. If you can lean into reels right now, I know you can't, but as a universal message for everybody, um, leaning into reels for me right now, anywhere between 2 and 4 times a week. Though when I post a reel, guys, the shelf life is so much longer. It's so much longer. So I'm finding that I'm actually able to post a little bit less, really make quality posts, post less because they're lasting 2, 3 days, right? They're still getting shown. Okay. And then I can work on things that are important to me, like working with my clients, updating my Insta Actor class, things that are important to you guys, not just posting all the time. Okay. And what I always say too is, Danny, check your analytics. If you have a creator account, if you have a business account, you can go into your analytics and you can see what's working, see what's not. Okay. You just go to those three little lines at the top of the app and you're going to go into your insights. You can also access them right from your profile. Just hit insights and go into audience or go into post, sorry. And just start searching by comments, saves. I kind of ignore likes, but what are people really responding to, and do more of that, right? Do more of that. Maybe do that more often and see what traction you get. Okay. I see everybody, not just actors, businesses too. I work with businesses, and I see people get really hung up on this, like how many times, set times do I post without ever going to their analytics to see what's working in the first place. If you haven't gone in there and seen this is working and this isn't, then you shouldn't be upping the amount of posts you're doing. Okay. Your analytics, guys, it's like the key to success on all of social media. All right. Rachel, no, I haven't seen the masterclass. Yes, just discovered you 20 minutes ago. Oh, awesome. Well, go watch that masterclass. You have until Saturday, Saturday at midnight to watch it. And I dropped the link here in the chat. I don't know where your chat is as you're watching, and it's in the description below. And that will definitely, that's the place to start. You got to figure this out before you ever post. So that's actually, it's so magical that you found me through Wendy, right? And right now. So, and you're welcome for answering your question. Danny says, ha ha ha, great point. I think it was about the posting. But let's see. Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie's a new Insta actor. I try to post on my grid visually. Do people ever look at the whole grid or just scroll? I like it to be visually attractive as well as storytelling. Yes. And Bonnie, I know you started the first video of Insta Actor, which is Insta Actor or Instagram for beginners. Video 3 is your visual voice. And we do talk about the idea of how your grid looks isn't as important as it was like 3 or 4 years ago when everyone had those like beautiful, aesthetically pleasing grids. But you have to know your grid, guys. It's like a cover of a book, right? That's how I look at your Instagram when it comes to your grid and your profile. Someone's going to show up on your page and it's the cover to a book. Do we judge a book by its cover? I'd like to say no, but we usually do, right? So it's the first thing we see. So yes, if you have, if you're using consistent filters that really help your energy pop, if you're using consistent colors that really can help us feel your vibe, if you have some cool tile scheme or something like that, it does up your account. It makes me think, oh, I might follow them because they know what they're doing, right? So Bonnie, that's video 3, your visual voice. We'll dive into that on how to really have your energy pop off the page and your captions, but all in a visual storytelling way. So I love that. Awesome. Okay. Voices your way. I think it's Claudia, right? And is this Claudia done? Let me know. How often should I post? Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday? How much is too much? I have lots of older pics that would support my Fab Four, but I don't want to look as if I'm living in the past. I love that. I'm going to have a sip of coffee and then we're going to answer that. Or I'm going to answer that because it's just me. Okay. You're right. You don't want to be that person who only posts Flashback Fridays and Throwback Thursdays. Claudia, do you use a scheduler? Let me know. I suggest, there's so many great schedulers out there. Later is great. I use Planoly. It helps you actually schedule out your grid, but actually it looks like a grid, which is nice. So for someone like Bonnie who says she likes the way her grid looks, if she wants to look a certain way, well, using Planoly will actually help you plan your grid and you'll be able to visually see it, which is so much cooler than just other schedulers, right? Um, so Claudia, if you're using a scheduler, you can schedule some of these. I don't know. This depends on how much you post. If you're only posting once a week and they're all flashback Fridays, throwback Thursdays, that is too much, right? You're only posting 1, 2 times a week, then maybe once a month, right? Uh, and if they're about all different topics, we might not really notice, right? Because maybe one time it's about acting, maybe one time it's about your dog or family, whatever your Fab Four is, right? Maybe it's about a book you narrated uh, a while back. But that's really part of your story, not necessarily Flashback Friday. You can use the hashtag, but it's just all part of your story. Okay. So don't overthink it. Okay. That's the rule today. But also make sure you're bringing us into your life now, Claudia. Okay. All right. Alana says it's totally worth watching. So helpful. Definitely recommend. Oh, awesome. Yes. I pack my free master classes, guys, with tons of stuff that comes right out of my classes. So go watch it. Um, Glad Marie, Chad Marie says 20 minutes ago, haha, you'll be glad you found Heidi. I love it. Social media brought us together. I normally don't have Instagram here though. This is just the second time ever. Okay. Let's see. Voices your way. Is there a way I create a reel from a photo? You can add when I do stuff that involves photos, I try to use InShot because I can really time them. That's an app I suggest in my classes. And and let me see. Done. Yes, this is Claudia Dunn. You know about InShot then. So I usually pull them into InShot and then I can decide how long I want those static photos to be. Just remember the format of reels. It's vertical. So make sure if you're pulling in photos that you're pulling in photos that are going to fill the frame, that they're not just going to be like right in the center. Okay. But we can. I mean, you can go and you can pull a photo, right? I today, this is the announcement from Instagram about IGTV becoming Instagram video. This is a photo. I just took a screenshot and I can add it to my reel and then I can time it out how long I want it to be there. Okay. So, yes, you can do that. And Claudia Dunn, you are going to love me. You know why? This is an Insta actor right now. I dropped it in there yesterday. It's the ultimate Reels checklist. Yes, it includes a checklist that you can use every single time with all different pro tips that took me a long time to learn. But it's a tutorial. It's 19 pages of step by step how to do a remix, how to time your text, how to add pictures, how to add videos, how to do voiceovers on reels, how to find trending audios. You name it, it is here. So for my Insta actors, for my rock stars, it is in class. Module 3 of Insta Actor on the bottom. It's there and it's a brand new Reels masterclass as well there. So this will help you, Claudia Dunn, and you already have it. If you don't have this, it's in my Insta Actor class. Link is in the description. And registration is closing on Saturday. I'll give you guys a link here too. But yes, Reels, something I talked about on Instagram today in my post. Reels can be scary. Reels can be really scary if you don't have a plan, right? Because not only are you trying to be creative, but there are technical aspects. Technical aspects, once you know them, like this checklist, I don't need this. Like, this is just what I do every time I do a reel. And I do it in like this. But for someone who's never used Reels or doesn't know how everything works, this is like the Reels Bible, like actually the Reels Bible. So Christina, Bonnie, you guys have this right now, module 3. It's probably perhaps I've never been excited about a bonus in any course that I've created as much as this. It's amazing. I should charge $1 million for it. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Phases of Norris, Planoly just for iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's for Android and iPhone. They're one of the biggest scheduling companies out there. So I'm just going to say yes, they are for every type of phone, Android, iPhone. And thanks for joining me, Nora. Awesome. Okay, guys. Is there a way to create a reel from a photo? We just did that. Danny asked, is there an app you suggest for creating an image for text? Like if I want to post a motivational quote? Yes. One of the coolest things about my job is I get to try out so many apps for free. And so I like a lot of text apps actually. Um, I mean, one of them that's my favorite that I've used from the beginning when it first came out. It was one of uh, the first apps to make quote images. It's called WordSwag. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, and it's so cheap too. I think they have a free version, but the paid version is just pennies. It's not very much at all. They've got a lot of cool fonts. You can upload your own picture. You can use pictures or just white background, static color background. It's my favorite. They also have a story swag now, so you can do all sorts of sizes for social as well. Um, that is my favorite for just quotes. I have other ones that are for like animated quotes, but I'd say that's probably my favorite. We'll go with that one. If you see me making quote images, it's WordSwag or actually it's WordSwag or it's Canva. And I use the desktop Canva, canva.com. It's kind of at a weird angle. And you guys told me it's not backwards, even though my camera tells me it's backwards. So, all right. Great question, Danny. Let's see. Rachel's son, Canoga Park. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Rachel, I've been following you on Instagram, but is it better to follow you on YouTube? Well, YouTube is where I put my longer form video content and tutorials. And so I would definitely subscribe here because Instagram, I do my short form, reels, captions, but this is where I usually create videos every Thursday. We took a little break for a couple weeks because of the Instagram masterclass, but yes, you're gonna want to. This is where it's at for learning is the YouTube channel. I mainly focus on social media here, but all sorts of marketing videos. I have videos here on email signatures, IMDb Pro, all sorts of stuff, cover letters. So I'm just pouring a little bit more coffee. Sounded like I was using the loo, but all right. Bonnie Sachs and follower count going backwards. Is that an Instagram thing regarding algorithms or all those horrible men bots falling off? I hope it's all those bots falling off because I've talked about this on Instagram in some posts recently. I've noticed so much more bot activity, spam activity in my other inbox, right? So I'm hoping that is why, because I've heard kind of across the board from people that they're noticing a lot more unfollows in their insights and they're not changing it, anything. If anything, they're doing better things. So I'm hoping because every once in a while you hear that Instagram found a service that had bots and millions of followers disappeared, which is a good thing because these people don't really interact with our post, right? So I'm guessing that's what you're talking about, Bonnie. And Bonnie, you have to know, Bonnie just started Insta Actor. So Bonnie, know that here's how Insta Actor, my course is set up, but how follower growth works. We start your foundation for everything you do on Instagram is that Fab Four, right? Make sure that looks like a B. Fab Four, how to tell your story, right? Rachel, you're going to figure that out, right? So you got to figure out how to tell your story, figure out your Fab Four. Then we optimize your first impression. And I don't know where you are in class right now, Bonnie, but I don't even think you're here yet. So really follower growth is somewhere way up here where you guys can't even see, right? Follower growth. Okay. Step one. Step two, then we figure out our posting strategy. But guess what? Our posting strategy comes right out of our Fab Four, right? What we post about at least. Then you got to figure out, how you're going to post it, when you're going to post it, what types of posts you're going to post about. And then we talked about this in the Q&A for one of the master classes. We have passive follower growth strategies, right? Passive follower growth strategies using hashtags. If you know how to use them correctly, you'll get small growth over time. As your following increases, you'll get more traction from hashtags because you'll end up as a top post more often, right? So that's a passive follower growth strategy. Reels. And I know it doesn't feel passive because reels might take a tiny bit longer to create. Reels, you create a reel, and if you're doing everything correctly, you're seeing passive follower growth. It's like, it's unheard of on Instagram. And then we got active follower growth strategies. That's where we see, with the exception of reels, the bigger growth, right? Active follow growth strategies would be collaborations with other accounts that also are telling a similar story, meaning they have a similar audience, and engagement. So, really identifying your audience, going out and taking a little bit of time to join their circles. Okay. And there's a lot of different ways we can do this. Okay. So, Bonnie, you're probably right here. As you go through Instactor, you're going to get further along of active strategies. And if you start using reels, then you're going to be seeing growth more like this. Okay. You can't see that. There you go. Like that. I need a bigger space. All right. So let me know, Bonnie, if that makes sense. And Claudia Dunn says, great. Thank you, Heidi. No overthinking. Yes. No overthinking. Create a reel. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. And Claudia, one thing that's going to be really good for you, voice actor, when you get this checklist, you'll find out how you can add voiceovers to your posts, because I know there's a lot of voice actors who don't want to put their face on the screen as much, and that's cool. So let's find some creative ways for you to maybe showcase the books you're narrating, showcase the projects you're a part of, and then add voiceovers. And I show you how to balance out the sound. I show you where the voiceovers are, all in reels. Okay. And you already have this because you're an Instactor. Awesome. Claudia says, great. Thanks again. You're right. I do love you. I love you too. So let me know, guys. Let me know what Instagram questions you have about Instagram in general, about Instagram specifically for acting. Yeah, about the free masterclass. And I will answer them. Let me go back to the chat. Okay, there you go. My chat was frozen there for a second. Okay, Philip Rencher. Hi, Philip. I'm seeing the accounts I'm following. I'm seeing the accounts I'm following count go up without me following people. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, because here's the deal, guys. Follow strategies don't only work for so long, right? I'm sorry, I keep hitting my desk, which is hitting the camera, giving you guys all like vertigo. So follow strategies on Instagram, right? Little hashtag follow for follow. I shouldn't even write it up here because I don't want you doing it. Don't do this. It doesn't work. Number one, you're just getting random followers, but also the whole strategy of you finding a like-minded person and then like following them, hoping they're going to follow you back. It's not really that effective on Instagram. I'm not saying don't follow anybody back, but if someone's like-minded, somebody follows you and you're like, oh, cool, they're another actor, or maybe they're another dog lover. They like one of your Fab Four and you want them showing up in your feed. Sure. Follow them back. But you have to know Instagram has limits. Okay. So at some point, and I see a lot of you guys very close to it, you can only follow 7,500 people on Instagram before they cut you off. Right? Let me know if you knew that. Give me a little thumbs up, a heck yeah in the comments. Once you get to following 7,500 people, you have to unfollow people. And that means you're unfollowing people that you may actually like. So the whole idea of that, if you're going to follow people and they're going to follow you back, you're going to have to end that at 7,500. And I know for some of you guys, that sounds far away. This comes pretty fast when you're doing a strategy like that. So I love that, Philip. You're seeing the accounts I'm following count go up without you having to follow people. And the more targeted you are about the people you want to reach, meaning your Fab Four, and the more you start creating consistent quality content instead of just churning it out because somebody told you to post 3 times a day, right, Danny? The more you will see that, because people are going to want to be part of your Instagram party. They're going to want to see your posts, your reels. Okay. All right. Rachel, love free, when free masterclass, or did I hear it wrong? I actually hosted 3 live classes last week. So we just met today. So we met a little bit too late. However, you can watch the replay, and I dropped it in the chat already, but let me see if I can find it here on my notes again. You can watch the replay, Rachel. So let me just drop I'll put free masterclass, the ID masterclass. You can watch it till Saturday, okay? Saturday night. So you can go grab that. It's an hour class, and actually the day that made the recording, I feel like that was a hour and a half Q&A. I answer a ton of questions. Actually, Claudia, were you there Saturday? It's Saturday's recording, actually. We were a smaller group on Saturday, like smaller hundreds, but like a smaller group, but it was actually less technical problems. It was great vibe. My people were there. All right. All right. Hi, Holly Hill Films. And Holly, I know you have another name because you told me in a comment once on YouTube. Let me know your name. Hi, Heidi. In general, how often should we post? Right now, I'm at about once a week. Thanks. I talked about this, I think, before you got you might have come on. It really depends on what works for you. I'm going to be honest, the more you are, especially if you're using reels, if you're making targeted reels for a audience, if you can post more than once a week, I encourage it because you will get more reach and you'll get more in front of more people, and that's potentially more followers. Okay. But if one time a week is all you can do to balance out your busy actor's life, then do one time a week. It's the advice I give to a business is very different than advice I give to my actors and my performers, because your number one job is acting. And if you're not going to be able to memorize, for the gig you're doing, or get your self tapes in order, or make that virtual audition, or pick your kids up at school, right? Or be able to make dinner because you're so busy posting, that's not a sustainable strategy. Okay. So I suggest you do up that a little bit and maybe lean into some other, I don't know what types of post you're creating. Maybe experiment with something else. So maybe you're doing once a week on your grid, but maybe let's make a reel, or let's post a little bit more on stories. Okay. I look at Instagram I used to look at it as just one giant party, right? One giant party, one giant awesome party. But now the party's kind of changed. Now we have like 5 parties, right? We have IGTV, or now Instagram video. We have live video. We have reels. We have stories. So there's a lot of different parties going on at this big Instagram party. And so what's important to know is that if we only play in one place, so if we're only posting on the feed, and that's the only place we hang, then we're missing out on potential followers and potential engagement from our followers if we're not in the other parties, right? So that might be Holly Hill Films. Maybe that is your next step, is can we up something else on the app? Can we try something new? Can we not overthink them and try some reels, right? I don't know if you're a student. If you are, go to class. This is there. It's so awesome. It'll help you create a reel. Can you start creating reels? And maybe that's your additional post. Maybe you're going to be a little bit more active on stories so that your followers get a little bit more behind the scenes into who you are. Okay. So let's see what we can add. All right. Philip said, didn't know. I'm not sure what you didn't know. Oh, you didn't know about the 7,500. Yep. Twitter has limits for it's 5,000, but they don't cut you off. You just have to have a certain amount of followers following you back on Twitter. So, really tapping into an audience on Twitter and doing follow for follow targeted actually does work, but Instagram, they just cut you off, and they do it for spammers. It's probably good, or we'd have like a gazillion spam bots following us every day, right? While we were talking body, we were already dealing with the gazillion gross fake bot men, spammers on women here. You all know what I'm talking about, right? All right. Okay, voices your way. Yay for voiceovers. What is a reasonable rate of follower growth? Is there a formula based on your existing number of followers? I will be honest, the first 500 followers is the hardest to get because people like to follow things that other people follow, right? So as you grow, it is just easier to grow. When I click over and somebody has 10,000 followers or 100,000, I'm more likely to follow someone that has more followers because it's social proof of like, oh, cool. 100,000 people already think they're cool. I like what their bio says. Like, we have like-minded things that we care about. And a glance at their post, I'm like, oh, yeah, we're a match. And it's that social proof that does push it over. So you'll notice, Claudia, as you grow, and I know you're new to social, it becomes easier and easier to get more followers. Let me know if that makes sense. And as you grow, you'll get them faster as well. Okay. And I know that's hard to hear when you're starting, but it's also why you might have to put a little bit more effort. I don't have my chart up here anymore. We erased it. But when we talked about those engagement and collaboration strategies, you're going to have to put a little more effort into those when you're starting than when you're bigger. Okay. I'm still laughing at this hair. It's a little crazy, this spray though. I'm kind of excited to be able to run my hands through my hair again. Okay, let's see. Danny, suggestions for things to post about acting when the career is very quiet. I end up posting more about my fitness and modeling, and that ends up being the story I'm telling instead of acting. Danny, did you watch my free class for actors? Let me know, because it sounds like you need to go watch it. Because this is actually the topic that we talk about. Yeah, because you should not just be posting about acting. That gives us like most of your followers as your career grows will not be actors. So we have nothing to really connect to you with, you're a lot more than the projects you book. Okay. So yes, you should be posting more about your fitness and your modeling. That's the story you're telling. And I did peek at your Instagram because of Reels, and fitness is part of your modeling and your acting, right? It's clearly in your brand. You've got like a 16 pack, right? If I'm remembering the right person. It's clearly part of your actor brand as well. So posting about these, about fitness, is only serving that brand. So if you haven't watched that class, Danny, go watch it, because Instagram secret number 2 is on this topic, totally on this topic. All right. You didn't know about the following limit. Awesome. Philip, does Clubhouse and Instagram have a connection, since Instagram is the best to connect with people outside? Well, they're not owned by Clubhouse. It's just that you can put it in your bio, right? Same thing on TikTok. We can put Instagram in our bio on TikTok as well. And actually on Clubhouse, you can put Twitter as well. You can put Twitter and you can put Instagram in your bio. Okay. All right. All right. I see a little person over here, a big person. She's almost as tall as me and she's 7 years old. Are you coming to visit? Do you want to come in? You just want to just say hi? My daughter's here. You want to say hi? Okay, let me see if I can move my board. Lula's here. You lost your tooth? You want to come in? She lost a tooth, guys. Tallulah's here. This doesn't happen very often, guys. This is my daughter Tallulah, who's already been a viral superstar on Facebook. Millions of views, right? I had nothing to do with it. Amazing. You want to say hi and show them your tooth that you just lost? Hi. Awesome. You want to say anything else? No? Okay. Thanks for listening. You want to say bye? Bye. Bye. Awesome. You guys got a special guest. One of the master classes got a special guest too at the end. Might have been Saturdays. Somebody let me know. Claudia, did Tallulah show up at the end of that one? I can't remember. It's a blur. I was live. I was teaching master classes and going live. I think it was something like 8 or 9 hours last week. So, woo. But Philip, Clubhouse, you can actually connect Twitter and Instagram. I don't know if I got all that out before I saw my little girl. She's been trying to lose that tooth for like about 2 weeks now. It's the longest tooth losing, that's not English, that I've ever seen. So it's a big day. Cassandra from Holly Hill Films. Awesome. Okay, Bonnie says makes sense. I've been on Instagram a couple years and I've been consistent with posts, maybe lasagna rather than spaghetti, but just circled back into acting beginning this year. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, you want to make it really focused, not spaghetti post. Okay. Claudia, yes, you answered a lot of questions. I did. Let's see. Alana, question. My following numbers are just about double what my followers are at this point. So your following numbers, the amount of people you're following, are double. Okay, what your followers are. Should I unfollow some people while I work on my account? I've heard the discrepancy isn't a good look. Yes, yeah. And it's not, you have to think about it. If you're just like Aunt Susan, you're just like some random person, right? No offense, Aunt Susan. But if you are just using it for fun, it doesn't matter how many people you follow until you get to 7,500, right? You guys learned that. So, but what does matter is think about anyone influential. they always have more people following them than they're following, right? So if you're following a whole lot more people than are following you back, you don't look very influential, right? So, yes, you want to start slowly unfollowing. Instagram doesn't like when we unfollow a lot of people at once. Alana, are you an Insta actor? Let me know because I have all those unfollow follow limits in module 6. So people know, like, don't get in trouble, guys. Don't go crazy and follow a million people. So, yes, you should slowly do it. To do this, I like to do it a couple ways. I go into Instagram and I go to my page, and right at the top, I can click in to the amount of people I'm following because that's what we need to clean up for her. And you can just go down the list, right? Click over. It's a little bit of a process. Click over and unfollow them. And you might find as you go too, there's like you follow like 1,000 celebrities, and although they're cool and everything, they're not helping you as a public figure for your ratio. So it might be really easy for you to go down the list and go, okay, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, right? Um, what I like to do is when you're looking at this list, so this is the people I'm following, right? There's like this little arrow right there. If I invert that arrow, I can find the people I followed earliest because there's a really good chance. Well, not on my account because I've already cleaned it up. But a lot of people, when they do this, they find the people that they've originally followed, like, have no picture. They're people they knew from like high school and like, or a long time ago that they're only following because Facebook was linked to their Instagram, right? They may not talk to them anymore. You might find you can unfollow a lot of people right there. Okay. The other thing is at the very top, when you click into following, you're following, there's a least interacted with. And I like to go into there and see who on that list I'm actually, who's following me. And if they're not following me, I unfollow them, right? I can only follow so many people. Okay. So that's a good start for you. Alana, do it a little bit every day because it definitely it's gonna hurt your growth when people, maybe they see your post in Explore on the Reels page and then they pop over and you're following like 7,500 and you only have 3,000 followers, right? There's just a kind of like a disconnect there. All right. Let's see, but I haven't posted on Instagram in like 2 years. Yikes. Well, just get started. Start with one. Don't overthink it. Start with one. That's your goal. That's why I say I never tell people how often to post because we've got people like a Beer that haven't posted in 2 years. We have people that do post 2 times a day. We have people that can do 10 reels a week. Everybody's at a different level of expertise. And everyone, depending on what you do in the business and do you have a family, like everyone has a certain amount of bandwidth for how often they can post. Okay. Danny, yes, you watched it. Well, go watch the replay because Instagram secret number 2 is exactly what we just talked about. So yes, you'll lean into your acting post a little bit more of your Fab Four when you're working more, right? But then you'll post more about modeling. You'll post, which is performing, it's kind of in the actor life category. But then you'll post about fitness and you'll kind of cycle through those. Okay. So yeah, that is totally, totally cool. I know that, guys, your journey as an actor is also part of what you post about. Okay. So I know people always think when I'm posting about acting, that's bookings. Well, it's not necessarily just bookings. It's your journey of what are you doing every day to become an actor? That could be, what are you reading? Are you going places and watching people? Yes, people watching is a thing for acting, right? So, what are you doing every day working on your craft? Those are things you can post about too. And I think you'll find that you have a lot more to post about for your actor's life when you start doing that. Chad, I hope the tooth fairy is good to her. Yes, we have a very nice tooth fairy. Not overly generous, but definitely more than when I remember. Philip said, I think she showed up on Saturday. Okay, good. Well, she's in the replay then. Awesome. Thank you, Danny. She's adorable. She's my everything. She is the cutest. And her viral video was her singing Serpentine Fire, Earth, Wind, and Fire in the backseat of our car with a giant thing of popcorn. She was like 3 years old and she's like harmonizing. And my husband's a Broadway guy. I used to sing, so it's not surprising she can sing. But yeah, I don't even know, million something views on my Facebook profile. I just put it on there so grandma would see it. So she tells mommy all the time she has more views than I do. So not that she knows what that means. Let's see. Alfred Mendoza. Hello, Heidi. Gonna go watch the first recording. Perfect. Actor in real life, LOL, here in Belmont, California, and a student of Deb Fink, who is amazing. Awesome. Awesome. I love Deb. Yes, definitely go watch that masterclass until Saturday. It's gonna clear up a lot of things we've talked about even today in the Q&A. Claudia. Oh my God, she's adorable, just like her mom. We're actually kind of like little twins. Well, when I don't have my Instagram hair, I'm like 5 foot nothing, guys. You guys don't usually see that because I'm here. She's really tall and she's 7. So when we walk, like she's like up to here on me. It's very funny. She's gonna be taller than me very, very soon. She's built like her daddy. My husband is 6'2", so Danny, thanks, Heidi. I asked about the fitness modeling post because I've been told recently that what I post isn't in line with the kind of actor I am. Friendly guy next door. Oh, okay. Well, I just did a quick glance of your account, and I would say, yes, you might be crossing a line into more like, I don't want to say sexy, but yeah, that you might be crossing a line into that realm, which might, a lot of people see that as like the bad boy. So you might want to reevaluate how you're taking the pictures. You can show skin and be the boy next door. You can still, be fit into a different box, if that makes sense. So look at your poses. Look how you're taking your photos, because that's really important. You do not want to have a disconnect with how you get cast and your casting sweet spot and what you're posting, especially if you're networking, using Instagram, or anything, because people are looking you up on Instagram. So Danny, if you're going in as that boy next door and your image is a little bit more edgy that you're putting out there on Instagram, then yeah, you might want to change your posting strategy. Okay, or wear some more shirts. I may be remembering you like totally wrong. I get a lot of messages every day, but I thought I peeked over at your account. So um if you got it, flaunt it, I guess, right? Rachel Brooks, in your video with Wendy, you mentioned that it's smart to showcase all your related artistry. I sang and songwrite, but under another name. So should I still post about it on acting? That's tricky. Yeah. If you perform under the same name, then it goes on the same account. If you perform under a different name or under a different band name, right, a different brand name, then that's probably going to go on a different account because people have to be able to find you in search. Okay, so that might require two different accounts. You're the exception. So what Rachel's talking about is when Wendy Elaine Wright, talent manager, former talent manager, interviewed me for her YouTube channel and for her community elsewhere. And I answered tons of questions, but one thing we did cover is multi-hyphenates, multi-artists, that dilemma of should I have one account or two? And one thing we both really agree on now is that the idea of the multi-artist has changed. 5 years ago, yeah, you'd probably have like my singing page and my acting page, and they'd be separate. But think about how television has changed. How many live musicals do we see? How many TV shows are people actually singing on nowadays? So actually, you having an account that showcases all of your multi-hyphenate awesomeness in one, if it's all artistic, we're talking like you're an actor and you also are a writer, like a screenwriter. You are an actor producer, you're an actor singer, actor musical theater, actor dancer. These are things that can help you get cast. So trying to separate all of those things out is actually doing you a disservice, and it's making it harder. But if you have a different name, if you're part of a band, if you're part of like a sketch comedy group, there's other people involved, it may require more than one account. Okay, I like to say keep it simple. But in cases like that, you might need two accounts. All right. Rachel, you might also find that like maybe you use TikTok for your songwriting and your singing and use Instagram for your acting, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to mean you are everywhere with two accounts. You might decide to focus on one for some of your talents. All right, guys, I'm going to answer a couple more questions. And then I am done with lives for a couple weeks because this has been a lot of questions. I've lost my voice like 3 times this week. All right. Chad, is it okay to do reels that are outside your Fab Four, like just funny content? Well, Chad, I think you were in the free class this week. I remember seeing you pop up. I've changed the Fab Four. Before it was acting and then it was 3 things. And some of those might be multi-hyphenate stuff. The fourth thing of your Fab Four is your vibe. And I know, Chad, I know you from class, I know you from your Instagram post. You are funny, you are goofy. That is part of your vibe, right? So funny content fits right into that vibe. Okay. Just make sure it's not in conflict with how you can get cast, like we were talking about with Danny. All right. Philip, going through module 2. Insta actor, gonna follow you, Danny. Need more motivation to get the 16 pack. I clicked over. I was like, "Whoa! I gotta get myself to back to yoga." I'm always going to yoga, but it's been so busy with these classes. I've been a yoga flake for the last couple weeks. Danny's gonna influence us all. Phases of Nora to get one-on-one help with you on social media. It's in your course, right? Yeah, well, you have a couple different options. You can go to marketingforactors.com. I do consult, but you have to know my classes are really step by step by step, and I'm taking you through a system that I would do with my clients, right? So if you take Instaactor, Nora, you're literally going to go through what I would do with a client. Now you won't have me, except for there's a Q&A call for Instaactor, where I'll answer your questions. But I'm taking you really through step by step by step. Okay. And Instaactor is the cost of one session with me. And it's like taking like 8 to 10 sessions with me. Okay. All right. Danny says, hashtag fitness tips coming your way. Awesome. And actually, what's funny, Danny, you could fit that into your vibe, right? Because clearly it's part of your brand. Okay. Rachel, so I should showcase my singing skills in a neutral sense and then have my actual songs on another page. Yeah. And it's not like you can't tell us you're a songwriter and you can't include that. But if you have a different name that you use as an artist, like as a singing artist, or I don't know if it's just for your writing, you want to make sure that people can look that up. Okay. So, and if you're using them both, Rachel, on Instagram, you could have 2 different accounts and it could have your name. And then you could say also known as, and put the handle as a songwriter. And now you're building both. Okay. All right. Danny's using word swag. Also using word swag. Awesome. Fitness tips using word swag in a more boy next door type of way. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So I can't believe it's already an hour. So I am going to sign off. Thank you for joining me today. If you haven't watched the free masterclass, the link is in the description below. You have till Saturday. If you have not, if you want to join me in instant after the session and get the coolest reels checklist ever. I mean, it's like when I say ultimate checklist, it's everything you need to create a reel, remix it, find trending audios, everything right here. Plus a masterclass, video masterclass that comes with it in class. You can get that. The link for that is down below as well. I will see you guys on Instagram. I will see you guys on Twitter. I will maybe see you on Clubhouse. I haven't been hanging there as much. But I'll definitely see you guys on social. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you soon, guys. Bye. Bye, Lana. Bye, Philip. Bye, Rachel. Bye, Danny. Bye, Chad. Bye. Sobluva. Awesome, guys. I'll see you soon. See you on social.